Welcome, brothers and sisters. I thank you all for allowing me to speak of the great Primus with you today. I want to open with some words from the prophet Alpha Trion at the beginning of the covenant of Primus. I am. No moment but the present lies within me. I am as empty as the spaces between the stars. They are the first thing I see, the first thing I know. In the next quantum of time that passes, I am aware of what and who I am. I know the stars are above me, and the solid metal body of the planet is beneath me. This world that supports me is the titanic, self-hibernating Primus, the demigod who created me. I have a name. I am Alpha Trion, third of the 13 primes. Ages ago, before time had measure, there was a single being. It had no use for identity or name. It lived, and that was enough for a while. But as it explored the galaxy and began to find other living beings, the bliss of discovery gave way to disturbing thoughts that had no answer. If they are this, and they are many, what am I, and why am I alone? Having nobody to talk to, it began a conversation with itself, and it gradually evolved two distinctive voices with which it examined the different sides of matters. One was reassuring, full of faith and discovering, full of faith and acceptance. The other one was restless and relentless, comparing itself with what it found and discovering that there were flaws and needs that went unanswered in the vast emptiness of space. The two voices took names to themselves. One was Primus, meaning first and one, and the other named himself Unicron, meaning unique and one. They both knew that they were one being, but this act separated them into two pieces whose feelings and insights could not be reconciled. They were the essence of opposition, and being young and without guidance, they began to fight. The division of mind and spirit caused a separation in form, so that ultimately they divided physically as well as in every other way. I want to tell you that both Primus and Unicron are inside all of us. We all have the potential for good and evil, chaos and order. As Primus and Unicron were once one, so do we possess two distinctive voices. Do we choose the answer, the voice of order and faith, or of chaos and rebellion? The Cybertronian culture manifests this literally, developing factions for each voice, the Autobots and the Decepticons. This is the duality of the universe. Us, the Transformers, all sentient beings, must recognize this duality. Everything that exists must have an opposing force if it is to exist. Even the 13 primes knew this crucial fact. The chaos of Unicron could never be defeated, lest the order of Primus also be extinguished. We must know this and be able to live with it, to change between multiple forms at will, to better understand the principles underlying the cosmos. Primus gifted his children with the ability to transform. We must be able to transform, to be a part of the dual nature of the universe, to be both what we once were and at a moment something wholly different. Do you believe that you can transform? I believe it. I am transformed. Can you say it with me? I am transformed. Now, you may ask, how do I know that you are speaking the truth? Which is the one great word? The tales of Cybertron have so many beginnings, disheveled, each telling its own canon. I tell you that the word is here in the covenant of Primus, gift from Primus himself to Alpha Trion. But do not take my word for it. Read the covenant yourself. Take in its words and make your own decision. The primes themselves spent thousands of stellar cycles in active contemplation and training for their battle with Unicron. They made their own conclusion to put Unicron in stasis, like Primus. They knew that this meant that the battle against his will would be an internal act of vigilance. They were not war-blind. They were not commanded by the Creator or anyone else's word. They came to the truth on their own. To destroy Unicron, chaos would be to destroy themselves. To kill him would be to kill the necessary balance of the universe. The spirit of war and struggle is within all Cybertronians. The primes being created with the original purpose of battling Unicron. So too were their descendants naturally inclined to battle. But all Cybertronians are also capable of tempering their battle instincts with compassion and reason. The steel of a sword must be tempered with the knowledge to use it. Even though we may be created with a purpose or a function, be it battle, work, or even to reproduce, it is how we complete our functions, or even if we can evolve beyond them. The Primes were meant to battle Unicron, but after their task was complete, what then? They became the creators of an entire race that has thrived for millennia. They chose to express the essence of Primus within themselves. Even Megatron, known originally as the minor D-16, chose to break the bonds of his designation. It is the Quintessons, the great invaders and betrayers that spread the lies and the disinformation and fractured the mythos and canons of the Transformers race. When they arrived on Cybertron, the Transformers were naive, having yet to discover life outside of themselves or what they were truly capable of. According to the Covenant, they announced their arrival as such. Far from being the only life in the galaxy, you are one race of many. You are unique, however, in that you have been chosen to be elevated to the next rank in the grand scheme of powers, a step towards ultimate transcendence. Behold, as a token of welcome to the higher dimensions, we gift you with a remarkable, godlike ability. And thus, they took credit for the ability to transform, a gift already bestowed to all Cybertronians from Amalgus Prime. The Cybertron origins began to break, each Quintesson master changing the story to suit their own needs. Some even taking credit for the creations of the Transformers as their servants. Truth be told, even after the Quintessons were ousted, the Primes chose to leave the past, more myth than fact, so as to not leave any influence over their children, and let them develop as they should. As Alpha Trion explains, the majority of Cybertronians only knew fragments of the Prime storyline, and what they put together was half nonsense these days, filled with fancies to make up for what was missing. Almost nobody considered it anything but myth, a handy tale to explain a past so deeply forgotten and incomprehensible that it required a dramatic fabrication to dull the force of its emptiness upon the imagination. In retrospect, this may have been done more harm than good. Today, I come to give you the word and let you decide. As D-16, later Megatron, chose his own path, so too can you. Megatron's failing was in not aiding his might with wisdom. History is doomed to repeat itself unless you can learn from it. Ironic that it took a race of shapeshifters millennia to learn this lesson. Change can sometimes happen in the blink of an eye, or take centuries. Cybertronians were quick to transform, but slow to change. Today, I give you the choice. Do you choose to transform, to draw from Primus the lessons that took so much strife to learn? Will you be a force of both chaos and order, a living embodiment of the balance of the universe, of Unicron and Primus? I offer you this verse in closing. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am that which is, which was, and is yet to come. Hurt not the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, nor the very fabric of time itself. The hero would not prevail, nor would he surrender.